you'll have 80% bankruptcies.
Okay, I'm making a video now.
$30 is what I call we're crippled. But at least the industry will survive.
We'll see what happens
until the virus ends and demand picks up by the end of 2021.
Pioneer wants the Texas Railroad Commission, which regulates oil and gas.
So this will be a test.
To force all Texas producers to cut production by 20%, hoping that less supply will prop up prices. But during online testimony today, the majority of the big players in the industry say they prefer to let market forces play out instead
So I'm making a
of
test right now.
Ray Caruso is a former director of the United States
This
Energy
video is a test,
Information
and
Administration.
I'm going to see if I can figure out how to send this to you.
This conversation, how significant is that?
I think it's very significant, and I think it shows that how desperate the situation is that they would even consider this.
It's not clear for now.
And hopefully,
that there are
I'm going to let
votes
this
to
run
force a
for
cut
about
in production.
5
Companies
minutes.
like Pioneer say at this rate, by summer, the U.S.
And
will run out of
hopefully,
storage to hold all its excess
if you do
supply
get
of
it,
oil
then
and
that
gas.
means, of course,
In Dallas, I'm
it
David
worked.
Schechter.
All right, so we know that we want to talk about our weather here first because we have had some beautiful days here in North Texas, but some of them have been, they've like enticed you to go outside, Kaylee, when you look out the window and then you get out there and the wind just sort of cuts right through you. But today was one of those days where you walk out and you go, it's as pretty as it looked.
Yeah, it's really nice out there. And I was looking, Jason, because, you know, we've been talking about several months where we were dealing with a lot of warm air in place for most of the month. So far this month, we've been dominated by below average temperatures. I do think out of the 15 days, it's about 10 days that have been below average. We've even tied a lowest maximum high temperature as well as broke one earlier in the month. So it's been cool, but we are now starting to climb 64 degrees. It's beautiful out there in downtown Dallas. If you look here at the rest of North Texas, temperatures are sitting at 67 in Breckenridge, 66 in Sulphur Springs, 65 in Corsicana. And here's a look at the rest of the night. Temperatures are going to fall, not going to be as cold as they were last night, but into the mid to upper 40s as we go into the overnight hours. And then let's jump ahead and look at that weekend forecast. Temperatures are going to stay in the 60s to start the weekend, but we're going to turn up the heat for Sunday with temperatures right around 77. Both Saturday and Sunday have a chance for rain, but it's not going to be a washout, guys.
All right, Kaylee, we will check in with you a little bit later for the full forecast. So we know that everyone is struggling out there right now, at least in some way, and that is especially true for low-income families and for the homeless, certainly. But there is a group here in North Texas that is trying to help those folks out. And joining us live on Skype to talk about that this afternoon is David Timothy, who runs the Soup Mobile. David, thanks for being with us today. And I know you all do this great work all the time, but you must be especially busy right now. What are you all doing differently right now to help people out?
So the Soupmobile, like many of the nonprofits in Dallas, these are challenging times, but we're adjusting, we're adapting.
No, I'm going to let
The
this
key
go
that
for 5
we're
minutes.
Working on is getting more.
And then you can
food
tell me
out
if you
to
get the
both
full
the
video.
homeless population we serve and for the needy children that we serve in South Dallas. So we work with a lot of partners like the North Texas Food Bank, and we've been able to increase the number of meals that we've served. Literally, we've doubled it in the last month.
Wow, that's pretty tremendous there, and that brings me to my next question because we've been, looking at all of these different food banks, and so many people who are turning to food banks right now are first timers. They've never had to do that before. Are you all seeing sort of a similar phenomenon where you're having people who are needing help who haven't needed help before?
Yes, it's really amazing. We have cars that are pulling up to our facility, and they're saying to us, "Well, we're embarrassed to be here, but we don't have enough food." And these are people that never had to get in a food line before, and
this count is critical for receiving appropriate federal funding.
Cullen County property tax appraisals are also delayed. The mailing date has been pushed back to May 15th. The protest deadline for notices may... With thousands of stores closed and millions ordered to stay home, retail sales fell a record-breaking 8.7%.
Okay, this is 5 minutes. I'm going to stop it right here.
Down 50%.